I'm live. Hey, everybody. Is George in here? Hey, George. I guess I have to entertain myself here. I'll just wait around a little bit till somebody comes in. Hey, King Angus, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Hey, Phil. Thanks for coming in. So, stuff's happening, but nothing's official yet. But looks like Duchesne's not coming to Montreal, which, by the way, sorry about the noise. It's just they're picking up the recycling. It won't be long. Bad timing. So what do you guys think of Duchesne going to Predators and not coming to Montreal? No takers? Anyways, I'm happy. I'm happy Duchesne doesn't come here. I don't think it would have been good. And apparently, Bergevin has said he doesn't think he's going to go the free agent route. He's going to make trades. So I don't know how active Montreal will be here today. So, yeah. So, am I on? Am I lagging? Is something going on? You guys don't want to know anything? Let's see what I know of so far. Apparently, Bobrovsky's going to sign in Florida for 7 years, $70 million. I heard that. Myers is going to Canucks. Yeah, hey Phil. He made cap space. I don't know what's coming exactly, but maybe also we made cap space because of some of the moves. I mean, I don't know. I imagine he's signing somebody, but I was just saying what I'd heard he had said. So, but usually the things you think are going on, it's something else that's going to happen. So, hey, maybe they're making an offer sheet on someone like Aho or Marner. I don't think they're going to do that to Marner. Someone that's affordable. Although Aho is looking for $9 million or something. Who would you guys like to see them sign? I'm curious as to who you guys think they should go after right now, or what you think might be coming. Damn trucks. Won't be long. Another couple of minutes, it'll be gone. It just started like a minute before the feed started. Anyway, this time I've got my computer over here so I can check. I've got the TV going on over there, so I can find out a little better than on draft day. So, anyways, let's see. What do I think is going to be happening? Hey, George. So what do you think? Who do you think we signed today? Anyways, I think, well, I'll tell you what, there's talk of, I've heard a rumor about Kyle Turris. Yeah, Lee or Aho. First of all, Aho, I hear actually both of them, I think, are looking for $9 million plus. I think it's too much. You okay to pay Lee $9 million? I don't know. It's a big raise. He was making 3.7 something, I think. Oh, I just hear Zuccarello signs with Wild. I don't know how they know this yet, but maybe Zuccarello just went to the Wild. Lee for $6 million. Yeah, between 5 and 6. How many years? Think the full 7? I'm not so sure, but I guess if you can get a guy like Lee for $5-6 million for 7 years, it'd be pretty good. But I don't know. Seeing him go, if he wants $9 million, 9.5, that seems like a really big raise. I don't know if he'll get that, but maybe. Aho, I don't know. Is Aho a UFA? Excuse me. Hey, Scotty. So, Scotty, who do you think? Apparently, Duchesne's going to Nashville. Who do you think is going to commit? I guess I could also news on Carlson. Which Carlson? Who? William Carlson signed in Vegas, and Eric signed in San Jose. I guess I haven't. I got home really late last night. I was helping my sister move, so I couldn't do a video about shop. I didn't have enough time this morning really to do video and post it and do everything and get this ready, so I didn't. Yeah, Kincaid, Scotty, and Lee, but you hear Lee's looking for like 9.5 million. You think they're still going to go after Lee for that price? I don't know. I think Gardner. I think Gardner is a good possibility. I think. Anyway, so I haven't weighed in on the Andrew Shaw trade, and I don't know. A lot of people seem surprised about the Shaw trade. I'm not. They're clearing cap space. That's obvious, and I've been saying it for a while that Shaw's probably going to go because he's very tradable. They're trying to also stockpile picks for next year. You're going to see some deals where there's, Delorier for a pick. They got three. Two of them were for next season. They're stockpiling picks for next season because the draft is here in Montreal. Let's see. Lee's worth it, 40-goal guy. $9 million though, Scott. I don't know. I'd rather see it down around. Maybe as high as 7, but I don't know. I don't like going higher than that. Not Gardner. No, not Gardner. Yeah, I'm not sold on Gardner, but I have a feeling Gardner might come here. Yeah, he might be the next Carl. I don't think he's the next Carl Alsner. I don't think so, but I don't know. I don't follow the Leafs, so I guess I don't have their history about him, so I don't see him that way, but it seems like he's a capable defenseman. Hey, Trent, how's it going? Keith Kincaid is pretty much guaranteed for Habs. I saw something about that. They've made him an offer even. I thought I saw something on Twitter, but I don't know. I know it's between – he's definitely targeting McElhinney and Kincaid. So I guess, depending on who is willing to sign. Because I've seen some things on Twitter where they say McElhinney is the guy they're going after. So I don't know. Lee has size, good defense, and he scored 40 with potential for 50. $9 million per on a 5-year deal would be great. Yeah, look, maybe that's true, but I don't know. I want to give $9 million to anybody. It eats up a lot of what they got on the cap, and then we got all those guys to pay. I don't know. To me, it's not a great idea, but he may be doing that because if you look at what cap space, like say they want to go after Gardner. Gardner's going to be about $6 million, and you give it. They need $15 million in cap space. I don't know if they have that yet. I think I'm the only one who doesn't want Lee. Well, I want Lee, but I don't want to pay that kind of money for him. Honestly, I don't. But I think he'd be a good addition here, definitely. But as Lee, he's a winger, right? He's not a center, I believe. So, yeah, I don't want them to bring in a center. I don't know why. I don't want to, but a winger, yeah. And I think if they're going to bring in a winger, I guess to replace Shaw, if he's a right winger, I guess because I kind of felt Armia might replace Shaw, but I don't know. Lee is 6'3", 231, got good size. And he's what? He's a winger, right? Is he a left winger? Lee can play the wing or center. But is he on the wing? Is he a left winger? I'm curious because that's what Drouin's position is. Hey, Matt, how's it going? I feel Lee's our best option. He's a better fit than Duchesne. Oh, I agree. That I agree, 100%. Yeah, I like Lee better. Something about Duchesne I don't trust that he's going to put up that 70 points that he did last season. I don't trust it. So that's my opinion. That's why I'm really happy. I was really happy to hear that Nashville. It's not official yet. Another 26 minutes before it can be official, but the Nashville's going to get him. I'm really happy about that. Let's see. Not sure. I think he's a right wing. I'd have to leave the chat to take that. Yeah, well, if he's a right wing, it makes a little bit more sense because that's another reason why they would have moved Shaw. It makes sense. So then I would think you're going to have, geez, who's the first line right winger? I can't, it's not coming. It's not coming. Anyway, he's going to be first or second line right winger, I guess. I thought Armia might move up, but maybe not. Goalie. How can I forget Goalie? So, yeah, I mean, you'd have Goalie and Lee as your top two right wingers. That's pretty good. I'd like that, but like I said, for me it's term and I mean I'm sure term is going to be 6-7 years, but money I don't want to commit that kind of money for that long a time. I don't know. I don't like it. I guess everybody's up for Lee, so everybody happy with that kind of money though? I'm curious to what you guys feel about money wise. Matt, I agree. I agree. I mean, but it doesn't mean he's going to play center here. He might not. Although you can move Domi over to the wing and have him play center on Domi's line. And that might look really nice, eh? Lee centering Domi, and I don't know who would be on the other side, because I believe Domi would be a left winger if he's playing wing. If we get Lee, I do not want it for more than $7 million. Yeah, Trent, I agree. I think $7 million is like really upper limit for me. Who do you think we will sign? I said it earlier too. I was talking to a friend on the phone. I think they're in on Gardner. I really do. I think Gardner might be the guy they bring in for that. Although there's a rumor out that they are inquiring about making a trade for TJ Brody. And Bergeron has said he wants to go the trade route more than the free agent market. But so we'll see. I don't know. I think Gardner. I really do. I don't know who else on defense. You're gonna have to trade to get the defenseman. So if it's a defenseman, it's Gardner. On forward, I guess they're really in on the Lee thing because a lot of times where there's smoke, there's fire, and they're really in apparently on Lee. So I guess my thought would be Lee and Gardner, but if they're paying Lee $7 million, okay, because Gardner's going to come in around $5.5, $6 million, and then that makes sense for the cap space they opened up because they're over $13 million. So I was kind of thinking that, but then I saw $9 million for Lee, and I just thought that's too much. Eric Engels just tweeted with Kincaid set to sign with Montreal. They'll have KKs on it, two KKs. Yeah, I think that's what I saw. Something with Eric Engels saying that it looks like it's Kincaid. So Keith Kincaid is as a back. I would have preferred McElhaney because I would have had more confidence that if Carey Price went down for any length of time, McElhaney would be a more adequate starter. But Kincaid's a good backup. Lucifero, hey, thanks for coming in. Can I bring anybody up to speed? We've been just talking about what we think is going to happen. The Duchesne going to looks like Nashville, that kind of stuff. What do you think is going to happen today, Lucifero, since you're the new guy in the room? What do you think about Lee signing here? Let's see. Now all we need is Capo Caco. And we have 3Ks. That would we call it the KK line. Yeah, you know what? If we could get Capo Caco, oh my God. If only that would be something. Imagine Capo Caco on our patrolling our right wing. We'd make the playoffs for sure. Sign Lee $7.5 million. Oh, Habs Club, by the way, hi. By the way, I'm Lucifero with another account. How do you get on with 2 accounts? That's interesting. I got my other computer here, so I'm trying to see if I can. It's an experiment. I don't know if I can get on this chat with 2 computers. I could talk to myself that way if that were possible. I guess that's why you can't. It won't let me. I don't think. Nope. Okay. Where were we? Okay. Sign. Okay. Anyway, I agree with you. By the way, sign 7.5. I mean, if it was 7, if they got him for 7.5, I wouldn't be all devastated, but I wouldn't like to go that high even. But yeah. Hey, Habs Club. Thanks. By the way, thanks. I appreciate that. What do you think of the Shaw trade? Well, they cleared cap space. Shaw was probably at his most tradable. Remember with Shaw, he's got, I don't know for a fact, but he's had a few concussions. So the next big hit could end his career. So he's risky. The fact that they could trade him and get those draft picks for next season meant a lot to them. Draft picks they want to stockpile because that draft is here in Montreal. And I thought, if you've watched my projection videos, I did 2 of them, I didn't have a lot of space for Shaw. And honestly, Byron, I'm kind of expecting Byron to be traded. So, yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I'm okay with it. And depending especially what it does for them, like if that extra cap space allows them to do everything they need to do, bring in somebody and pay the guys on the team already that need to be paid, I'd be pretty good with it. I'm okay with the Shaw trade, though. Yeah, I'm not devastated by Shaw being traded. Scotty, everybody was happy we traded Shaw in the comments of my video. If we don't get an upgrade, I'll be pissed. He brought a lot to the team, man. Yeah, no, I agree. But I mean, I think we're going to get an upgrade, so I think it's okay. And as I know you agree with that, that Shaw was probably at his most tradable right now. Trent McDonald, Kincaid took New Jersey to the playoffs 2 years ago when Schneider went down. Well, okay, I didn't know that much about him, so that's good. Makes sense, then that's why they're going to sign him. But I do agree. I saw, like I said, saw something on Twitter that led me to believe that they were closer to Kincaid than they were to McElhinney. And I had said it in earlier videos that Kincaid was my second option after McElhinney. Do I think all the draft picks we got maybe trade to get Alex Lafreniere? Trevor Timmons was asked this question about do they think they could get whatever. He said he hopes they're not in the running and they're picking 31. Alex Lafreniere, is he, by the way, it's Lafreniere, not Lafreniere. There's no IER at the end of this one is not the way normally people would think. It's Lafreniere. Yeah, I hope they're not in the running unless they've traded to get that pick and it's not what do they call that? Lottery safe or whatever. But no, I hope next season they do well enough where they're not taking or they're not going to be up for him. Okay, sorry, I had to look at that text. Don't start. Okay, sorry about that. Do I think I'll? No, I don't know. Lafreniere is still in the future. I mean, anything can happen. Delorier got moved for a fourth. Yeah, save cap space and the fourth pick for next season, which is Timmons was quoted at the at the development campus saying they're trying to stockpile picks for next season. It's also apparently a deep draft next season. I want to see Anders Lee sign with us. Hey, Aaron, it's possible. We're going to find out. 18 minutes away. And you know what? I think there's going to be a flurry of them right away. I don't think it's going to be a day where it drags out. I think we're going to get a bunch of signings right away. The big guy is going to drop. Kincaid is a Montreal Canadiens. Yeah, well, it's not official, but I think so, yeah. Hey, Johnny. How's it going, man? Yeah, so yeah, I think Kincaid. I think it's going to be Kincaid, which is fine. Kincaid's very affordable and very capable. And honestly, besides Kincaid and McElhinney, not much else out there. So it would have been, then you got to hope Lindgren makes it. So I'm glad. I'm kind of glad that if they do Kincaid right away, that they didn't waste time to get a backup goalie. Now, it's possible that Lindgren just outshines Kincaid and they go the other way, but Kincaid's very tradable. Let's see now. Did I miss anything? Oh, your stream is way better than the hockey guy. There's too many people. I'm slightly biased. Yeah. I watch the hockey guy streams when I can. But yeah, there's a lot of people. I don't try to get involved in it, but I watch it to see this thing because anyways, there's certain things I like to see when I watch it, but yeah. I do notice that he answers, and I don't think it's his fault because I think I would probably do the same thing if it happens to me. He answers the questions mostly from people who've donated money, which I get because if they donated money, you want to answer their question. And he has so many that do that. It's hard to answer other questions, but I have seen them do it. But yeah. But I appreciate that you like my streams, everybody. I'm happy. I'm hoping I'm doing a good job. It's all new to me. And honestly, I've never been the greatest conversationalist, so I kind of need to feed off of you guys, but it's going well. If we get Anders Lee, are we going to trade a left wing since we already have Drew Tatar and possibly Domi on that side? So, Sports King, are you saying that we were trying to find out, is he a left wing or a right wing? I can't really spend too much time looking that stuff up. I'm not fast enough on the computer. So if he's a left wing, yeah, it makes a difference. I don't know. I mean, maybe that makes the Drouin trade I kind of been saying I think is going to happen. Maybe that's what happened. Lee would definitely upgrade on Drouin. Sorry. I don't know if you're Drouin likers out there, but in my opinion. I don't think Tatar goes anywhere. Montreal got 12 draft picks for next year already. Yeah, they also could move some prospects up. Yeah, yeah. And Montreal stockpiling. They want a lot of picks. They want to be up on that stage or announcing picks a lot next year. I'm watching you instead of the hockey guy because you're more Habs related. Yeah, well, I'm a Habs channel. Although, look, you can't fault the hockey guy for his bias for the Habs. He doesn't like us, but he's totally unbiased about anytime he talks about Montreal and all that stuff. So you got to give him for that. But yeah, he has to do all the teams. It's harder if you're specifically into one team. It's harder with the hockey guy for him to totally satisfy what you need. I try to do that. I'm trying. Domi will not move from center, and Lee is a left wing. Well, then that's probably what will happen. Although Scotty was saying Lee has played center. Sorry for looking at myself again. I'm trying not to. Yeah, I mean, but he might play if he's a center left wing. They may try him at center here, and it might be a better combo. You never know. Look what Domi did at center. He may do better at the wing. Actually, he may have more goals. He may have more opportunity. You don't know. And I'm sure they'll try it out in camp. I'd shop Drouin 100%. Aaron, yeah, I kind of think they've done that already, or are in the midst of doing that. I would find it hard pressed that they wouldn't explore the opportunity of seeing what Drouin would bring back. Although I'm leaning towards the fact that Drouin is probably going to be here another year, but it depends on really what they bring in. If Lee is a left wing, I don't know. Maybe that's a sign. If they're not bringing in a right winger to replace the Shaw that they just traded, it's kind of weird, I would think. Unless I'm wrong about Domi. I looked it up, though, at one point. Domi's a left winger if he doesn't play center. Yay, go Habs, go. Yay, go Habs, go. I hope we get some good results. 13 minutes away before we start to see. I wonder where I can find it updated over here. I got the TV on, but I don't know. It's hard to tell what's going to happen. Islas 181. I don't know if you're in the feed, but if you are, thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate it, buddy. I kind of imagine if you're subscribing, you're probably out there. If you're out there and you want to say hi back, hi, thanks for coming in and thanks for being a subscriber. And all of you guys, thanks for being subscribers. I do appreciate that. I appreciate you all. Frederick Villeneuve, Drouin for Lee would be a win for Montreal. Yeah, it's a definite upgrade in my opinion. I mean, Drouin has a lot of talent. There's no taking that away. But there's something missing. And then in the off season, he's saying now that he's working on his conditioning, which is great. I don't see how his conditioning is going to help the problem that he has. I don't think it's that. So it wasn't for me the right thing for him saying. I wasn't satisfied with that. So I just think it's going to be another year of being frustrated with him. So I'd rather have a different scenario. I think we'd have to give up a pick or two. Okay, but Lee's an unrestricted, so Lee's a possible signing, and then Drouin would be a trade. Unless I misread what you're saying. Byron for draft choices, that's a possibility. I don't see a spot. Maybe a fourth line left winger for Byron. I get that. I don't even see that this year. So they're going to get probably draft picks for him. So yeah, I can see that. So I sort of expect Byron to be traded in the offseason, but it might not happen. I didn't expect Riley to get signed. What's going to happen with Marner? I hope we don't try to offer sheet that. I hope they don't try to offer sheet anybody who you're going to have to give 4 first-round draft picks away for. I don't want to see that. I think, will Marner get offer sheeted? No, I don't think so. He'll stay in Toronto. Even if he does get offer sheeted, they're going to have to match. Toronto will sign Marner. Yeah, I think they're going to sign him. He won't get offer sheeted. Steven. Hey, Steven, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Never trade Byron. He electrifies the team like Goalie. I agree. But he's not he's the type of guy that will get traded if you have to make a trade. He's just that type of player. He's not going to be one of your top six on a regular basis. Yes, he can fill in when needed. That's for sure. He can play any slot, but he's not going to be that top line guy. So it just makes sense from that he would be an option to trade. Plus, his contract is movable, and the fact that what he's making and the player that he is makes that contract even more movable. Drouin played through an injury after the All-Star break. I think that affected his play personally. If you're talking about his breathing, I have found some info that happened in Tampa. So what's his excuse the whole time? It wasn't just last year then. And why not take care of it if the first time you played the season with it and you didn't do well, that's a problem. Why wait 2-3 years down the road to take care of it? So I don't think that's it. To me, it's a poor excuse. And look, I could be wrong. I don't have any inside information. I'm just a schmo like you guys out here trying to find out stuff and giving my opinions, but I don't have an inside track. But that's kind of what I think. If Drouin goes, I want to be for Ghost. Yeah, but I don't know. I get the, and I'm a big proponent for that. I get that feeling that trade is dead right now, at least until after this stuff happens and see what they do. But I kind of think it's dead because they're talking. I've heard that they're talking. They asked permission to talk about Brody, a few things like that, and not once about Ghost. So I think it's dead, that one. I heard if we sign him for over 10 mil, it will only be 2 first and second. No, it's anything over. It might be like a 10, but I think it's 10 or 10.5. Anything at that or over, it's 4 first rounders. I think it's at 9 or something. It's where it's 1 and 2 seconds. But Marner's going to have to be offered more. If you're going to offer sheet Marner, you're going to offer sheet him with an offer you hope Toronto wouldn't match, no? If it's over 10.5, it's 4 firsts. That's it. If it's under 10.5 and over 9, I think it's a first and or 2 firsts and 2 seconds or something like that. Let's see. I remember watching Drouin often coasting on the back check. Yeah, last year. And watching Suzuki skating hard on the back check in scrimmage. No comparison on compete level. And yet Suzuki gets that knock that he doesn't have to compete. But you know why? I figured it out, is that if you watch Suzuki, he makes, even though they say he's not a great skater, but he's fluid. He makes it look effortless. And when he touches the puck, the game just slows down. And anyways, that's why I think he gets the knock. But he tries. He back checks. He does a lot of those things that I'm sorry I don't see Drouin do to the effort level that Suzuki does. He does coast a lot of times on the back check when he should be racing to catch the guy. He kind of just coasts along. I don't like that. Whoops. All right, we're getting close. 6 more minutes till we start to find out what the hell is going to be. I have not had lunch. I hope nobody minds. I will be very discreet. I'm going to eat a couple of marshmallows. Marshmallows for lunch. And it's not great for my diabetes, I know, but I need to put something in my stomach. And I still eat a little sugar. Okay, I read that. I heard that the Habs contacted Carolina for Aho. Yeah, is Aho restricted or is he unrestricted? I thought he was restricted, but I don't know. I'm confused on that point. Hey, Sports King, you just heard that? Where did you hear Lee's expected to sign? Anybody? It's got to be somewhere credible, right? Not just on Twitter from an anonymous source. Although, it's the big rumor right now is that it's going to be Lee. So I don't doubt you at all. I'd just like to know where you heard that. Well, Lee would be a big name, Habs. Lee would be a big name. But me too, I want something exciting. Although, I don't want something exciting at the cost of all the cap space. Remember that. Panarin to Rangers for sure. It's what it looks like. That's the latest rumor, really, is that Panarin's going to the Rangers. Although, oh, you're joking about Lee. Well, it's the big rumor right now. But Panarin to the Rangers, and I also heard something maybe to Jersey. He wants to be in a very big city. I know that. And Bobrovsky, excuse me, the way that Duchesne is I started looking at myself. The way Duchesne is apparently going to sign with Nashville, they're saying Bobrovsky, 7 years, $70 million in Florida. Rick and his marshmallows. Those are the ones I keep down there. Come on, guys. I need some questions. Yeah, Aho is restricted. Okay. I thought so. Yeah, but apparently the stuff I saw is like it's a 9 and 9.5 million offer sheet. That's a lot for Aho, I think. I know he's got a lot of talent and everything, but remember, Aho's not a huge guy. Some wear and tear on the body, and I know Caulfield. I don't want to give him that kind of money, is what I'm saying. But again, Aho, 7 million, 8 million, but I think Carolina would match anyway. So, and it's the problem with offer sheets is you gotta give more than you wanted to, right? You gotta give them enough so that the other team wouldn't match, and that's to me, there's a fault right there. It's a problem. Johnny, I touched on this a few earlier. I was saying that we see all these rumors, blah blah blah. Oh, this is gonna happen, and usually it's the stuff we didn't hear about. This is what happened. Oh, we didn't hear nothing about that. So, I kind of think that it's a good possibility. The stuff we're hearing about is smoke and mirrors, and we're gonna be a little surprised at what he actually does. But I mean, I have no proof of this. But yeah, I said it before. I think that might happen. It wouldn't surprise me. By the way, just to let you guys know, because it's about to start now, I'm planning to go till 1:30. I've got to take a lunch break and walk my dog, and then I'll be on again for 2 hours after that. So I might take an hour and then do part two, 2 hours. So if I'm doing a long day today, I don't know if you guys can stick around or whatever, but I'm going to be here for a while. But I do have to take a lunch break because I can't eat marshmallows all day, and my dog has to be walked. Okay, let's get back here. Aho would be my top pick for an offer sheet. Yeah, I like Aho, and he'd fit right in perfectly here with all the Finnish guys we've got. So, do you think Caulfield will go to camp or straight to college? I don't know, because if he's going to college, apparently he can't go to camp. There's some kind of either NCAA rule or it's an NHL rule. I don't know. So that's why I don't want to see him go to college. Although apparently the Habs want him to go to college for at least a year. So I don't know. We might not see Caulfield at camp. Carolina said they will match any offer sheet for him, but we'll talk trades with the team that want him. Oh, really? Geez, I wonder what would you give up? What would we have to give up to get an at-home? And quite honestly, I'd rather do the trade route, but I can only imagine what they'd ask for a guy like Aho, so I don't know that I'd rather do that necessarily with him. So, and like an offer sheet, if you got to give him 9, 10 million, it's too much. Okay, Scotty, I think Suzuki's going to play this year personally. The skating is a question, but all around he's a real deal, in my opinion. I'll tell you something, Scott. I don't necessarily disagree with you, but here's where I do disagree with you. In the information or let me start with this way. I've always kind of said that I think he's going to come up and play the wing. with the information coming from his mouth that Montreal's talked to him that they want him to be a center. They're going to try him at center first. I think he goes to Laval to get a year at center there and see where. I don't think they bring him in as center first year. I really don't. And I love Suzuki. I mean, I love Suzuki. So it's not a knock on him, but I think it's great if they want him to be a center. But I think they're going to give him some time in Laval first. And he's the real deal, I believe so. Yes, definitely. But I think I don't think it's a bad thing a year in Laval. Although I do think we'll see maybe as many as 9 games from him out of the the 9 games that he can start. I think we may see that though. And if he just wows them in those 9 games, then I agree with you, he'll stay. But I don't know. Well, it's my old cat. She's going to want to come up. I think she's going to want to eat. That's another thing. At some point, I got to feed her again. And yeah, she's going to try to destroy my stuff now. No, you can't do that. You can't do stuff on computers. Sorry, guys. That's the cat. Just stepping anywhere she wants. Cats are like that. See, she's making me move my marshmallows. I lost my place, Mew. Okay, wait, I saw that. Okay, now I know where I am. What do you see happening to address our lack of depth on right wing? I think they're going to address that through trade or with bringing people up. I don't think it's going to be Suzuki, because if you want to start Suzuki as a center, that you don't bring him up as a right wing to start. I don't think you do that at all. You bring him up into the position that you want him to play. A talent like that, you don't mess around with that too much, I think. Just like KK. KK played, except for the odd game, played center all year. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I thought if they're not going to get a right winger, you're going to move Armia out. You've got Jordan Wheel that could probably play third line minutes. And then you have somebody to fill in on the fourth line. And I don't think a fourth line guy is hard to find. So I think that's probably how it'll be. Because I've been saying for a little while, I think that if Shaw gets traded, Armia is going to step up. He's ready. I think Armia is going to have his breakout season. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I think. I don't know who would be on the fourth line yet. But, I mean, you can find that in your organization. There's a lot of ways to fill a fourth line guy. Probably Drouin, Juleson, and some picks maybe. Okay, Trent. Okay. Yeah, that might be enough, I guess. Yeah, you might be right. I don't know. Do you really think though Carolina wants to trade Aho? I don't know. He's a big part of their offense. I don't know. Is that enough? Is Drouin, Juleson enough to replace the offense you lose when you trade a guy like Aho? I don't know. But that's interesting. That's an interesting package. Still, though, if it were me on Carolina's end, I wouldn't take it. What's going on, Rick? Anthony, welcome. Anthony from Philadelphia. Hey, Anthony, everyone's asking about the Gospelsier trade. Have you heard anything about Gospelsier in Montreal? We're interested. Sports King, we got, it's 12:04. Oh, it's 12:04. I better get on to stuff where I can find out. So we got Kincaid. They announced it. I missed it. Gregory Brain? Hey, Gregory Brain. Cool name. Montreal needs short-term help in order to improve on last year. They need left defense, yeah, and backup goalie. I think we announced they got Kincaid and probably a right wing. Yeah, I can't disagree with you on that. Nothing at all. I think it's shut down. Yeah, that's what I've been saying, Anthony. I think the Goalie talk is shut down. I haven't heard anything about it, and they would be talking about it if it was still viable. Bob McKenzie just said Kincaid 1 year. 1 year, $2 million. I'm surprised at the $2 million, but I know Kincaid had a higher contract than McElhinney. He was over $1 million already, so that's probably why. 1 year, $2 million. I like that deal. Tyler Myers and where did Panarin go? Myers went to Vancouver. Am I right? And Panarin's going to the Rangers? Rangers, Duchesne, Nashville, Bobrovsky, Florida, Myers, Vancouver, Andersley's still out there. There we go. That's the update. So, I'm glad Duchesne's not here. I'm glad Panarin's not here. Too much money. I didn't see what they said they got paid. But yeah, Gardner, Lee and Gardner are still out there. Maybe that's who we're getting, Lee and Gardner. Well, I mean, that's interesting. At least we're getting some action going now. They're talking about the first signings. They can't agree on a deal with Aho, so I can see them wanting something back for him. Well, definitely. Definitely. I mean, look, even if it's an offer sheet, they're going to get the picks, but I think they want, it's her furs all over the place. I think they want, I think they want bodies back for him, some kind of trade deal. But does that mean that if somebody offers them a ridiculous amount, they're going to match a ridiculous amount? I don't know. And I'll tell you what, any team that's offering ridiculous numbers to these guys right now, you're going to pay for it in the end. In the long term, it's going to cost. It's going to cost you. Anybody know what Panarin got? The bread man. What do you think about Michael Furlan? I mentioned Furlan in one of my projected lineups, I think. Again, and not expensive. Furlan's making 1.7, I think, last year. I think you can get him pretty cheaply. But there's not a lot of talk about Furlan coming to Montreal. Well, Anthony, did Panarin get $14 million for 7 years? Oh my God! I know the Rangers have money right now, but that's gonna cost them down the road. Wow. Sorry, her fur gets all over me. And you can brush her all day long, still fur comes out. I can't believe that. What do you guys think of that? $14 million for 7 years for Panarin. $14 million cap hit. And I wonder how much of that's upfront money. Because then once it's upfront, there's a lot of upfront money. Then down the road, it's just cap hit. And anyways, it's a long story. We'll get into that. It's from 12 to 14. 12 is still too much. They've not confirmed, but they said around it. Okay, still. Too much. Okay, so there's no confirmation. So what are they putting up on the board if nothing's? Because I have the sound down. I can't really have the sound up. Breadman to the Rangers. The Rangers. It's been rumored the last 4 or 5 days, I think, the Rangers, and it seems that it's going to be the Rangers. Wayne Simmons still out there. Brett Connolly to Florida. Cam Talbot signs with Calgary. Anthony, he just turned down a 7-year, $12 million deal, so I can't see less. It's true. Although, he wants to be in a really big, the way I heard it, metropolis. New York, is there bigger than New York or LA? So I think that he may have taken a slightly smaller deal to go to a city that he really wants to, but I don't know. But it doesn't matter. That means if he's making that kind of money, he's getting more than McDavid. Does that make sense? That doesn't make sense. And McDavid's deal's not that old. Yeah, the Islanders don't deserve him. Who are we talking about? You mean that he didn't go to the Islanders? Yeah, there was talk about him going to the Islanders. Are you an Islanders fan? And if so, would you like to see that kind of money go to one player? That's not McDavid? Looking like Dzingel to Chicago. Actually, that kind of makes sense. For some reason, that makes sense. Chicago would be interested in Dzingel. I kind of liked him here, but I don't know. He may be one of those guys that reached his ceiling and might not get back to there. Hard to say. He might have been a seventh rounder that made it, or he was a very late rounder that made it. Yeah, hard to see. Hard to tell what's going to happen. There's nothing. Montreal not anywhere yet. McElhinney went to Tampa. Okay, so McElhinney's in Tampa. Yeah, Tampa, they're up against the cap. If they need a backup goalie, they needed to go cheap. He's a great cheap option. I'm a Chicago fan. Breadman is great, but not worth 12 to 14. He is worth 11 max. And I don't know. I say 10. I don't think anybody's worth 11. I think it's just too much. 11 is just too much for almost anybody. There might be the odd players worth that, but too many players starting to get paid that kind of money, and it's crazy. I mean, how much money do you need? After a while, how much do you need? How much can a person spend? I don't know. Yeah, 8. I like the 8 for a guy like that kind of quality. I like the 8. A guy like Duchesne, personally, 6 million, and at 6 million, I'd like to get him at Duchesne, but I wouldn't want him at 8 million. I don't know if anybody agrees with me on that. Sharks resign restricted free agent Meyer. I wouldn't think they'd let Timo Meyer go. $6 million average, yeah. I would think most restricted free agents are getting re-signed. I don't think you're going to see a lot of movement restricted free agent wise, but I think you might see some offers this year, some offer sheets. Myers is being overpaid at $6 million. Is that what he got? $6 million, I think, from the Canucks. But it's not a big increase from what he made last year. Twirly, how long have you been a Habs fan? 49 years, since I'm 7. Tanev went for cheap, in my opinion. Oh, did Tanev go? Let me see. I got to take a look at the board. They got trades and stuff up there. Hey, man, I know you don't watch basketball, and I don't. But I'm in a good mood based on what Philly did yesterday. So if the Flyers do nothing, I'll still be happy. Okay, cool. Well, I don't really follow what they do. They're in the same kind of situation we are. Aren't they going to be doing a free agent and all that kind of stuff soon too? I wonder when we'll get word that all these things are official. Although I wouldn't think these guys on TV here are reporting things that they don't feel are official, are will be official anyway. Free agent was yesterday, and they're now ranked the number 1 team. Oh, but you're doing pretty good. Good, congrats for you. Hawk, I know you love the Habs. I believe that the Shaw trade was great for both teams. It clears cap space for you guys as well. Yeah, no, I think it is. And look, honestly, Shaw's a bit of a risk. He could take a bad hit and things could be bad for him. But I liked him. I thought, he gave us some good grit, some good points, some good numbers for him last year and all that. So, yeah. But it was a good deal for us. We needed to clear cap space. We think, depending on what's coming. So far, nothing. A lot of other things happening. I haven't heard Montreal, nothing yet. Which is kind of typical as a Montreal fan. Every year it was waiting for them to sign somebody and wait, nothing. Okay, Kincaid was one. You're right. We got Kincaid. Yeah, Mike Smith to Oilers. Yeah, it's funny how the Oilers and the Flames exchange goalies, kind of. It happens. It's okay, Trent. I understood that you meant, well, maybe he got laid. You don't know, but yeah, I understood it. Mike Smith is just on the TV now. Yes, Ray, you got to wait a little bit longer, okay? 45 more minutes we go out. 45 minutes. My dog's already telling me, hey, you got to... Probably at 1. I'll take a break from 1 to 2. And walk me dog. Eat some real food other than marshmallows. And come back on. Good one, Scotty. If only that was a possibility. No, sweet, not right now. You can't come up right now. Oh. I know what she wants. She likes marshmallows. She's asking me for some marshmallows. I know. Anybody who says, don't give that to your dog, don't worry. I don't give her too much. And she loves sugar. What dog doesn't? 1.75 for Kincaid. Yeah, 1.75. That's fantastic. And 1 year, you're not worried about having to move that contract. It's not a contract that even if you had to, like say Lindgren does take the job, you could move that contract. Or you could put him down to make sure Lindgren does have it. 1.75 is a bit much for Kincaid, but 1 year makes it great if it doesn't work. Yeah, but I mean, he was making over $1 million. He was making more than McElhaney, so I could see they gave him a raise. McElhaney is going to get a raise too. He's not going to come in at $750 again. What are we doing with all that cap space? We're waiting to find out. Look, all the players that we're talking about that we're going to get, other people want them too. So I imagine he's negotiating. They're still in the negotiating phase. Because, I mean, they weren't really allowed to talk to them much anyway before. Trent says he thinks that's a steal for Kincaid. I wouldn't say a steal, but I think that's perfectly fine for Kincaid. Anything over that, even the $2 million. When they said $2 million, whoever's announced it, I thought it was a little too much. But that's okay. You can go to $2 million, but over that would have been a little ridiculous, yes. But not 1.75. That's fine. New report: ghost trades have started again. No team specified. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean that makes sense because as this stuff happens, the trade talk's going to start to happen again because now teams have a better idea of what they need, or they got what they wanted. They know what kind of cap space is left, all that kind of stuff. You're going to see trades after this. Hope it's Bergie going after Ghost. Yeah, well, it depends, Trent, on what's going to happen here today. If he signs Gardner, he's not going after Ghost. If he trades for TJ Brody, he's not going after Ghost. So, or Nick Leddy, he's not going after Ghost. If there's an absence of them going after a left-handed defenseman, then you might think that, yeah, he may be going after Ghost. Jordy Ben to the Canucks. Yeah, I heard that. Jordy Ben signed with the Canucks with Myers also signed there. Kincaid will give the young prospects in Laval time to gain pro experience. Primo needs time in the AHL. Well, that's what it is. It's either going to be Lindgren or Primo next year, but Primo's going to play the full year in Laval. I really believe that. Because think about it, even if Kincaid gets hurt, you got Lindgren to bring up. I don't think they're going to put Primo into the NHL till the season after, unless there's an emergency reason why. Anthony, I think you guys are lucky if you don't get Ghost because you will not like what you have to give up to get him. Well, that's, yeah. Which it may be the reason why there was nothing further about it. Once the Habs inquired and they had their talk, they realized it's too much. They're not going after that. I get that. That's why I don't think we're going to hear the talk for Montreal and Gross here. I hope Ben does well. He was a hard worker. Yeah, he was. He was. He definitely was. And where was it? He went again? Oh, to Canucks. Yeah. Anders Lee, 7 years, 6.5. Is that what is? Is it Hagen? I'm not sure if I'm not pronouncing your name right. I'm sorry. Are you saying that's what you'd like, or that's what you've heard? I can see a Habs trade coming involving Lindgren soon. We have Price and Kincaid in the NHL now, and in the AHL we have McNiven, Lindgren, and Primo and Lacouve. Yeah, yeah, I can see that. I would think a Lindgren trade, either if they make a trade, they involve him in a trade, or definitely training camp. I could see teams maybe wanting to see how he does in training camp and then pull a deal there. Spezza, 700,000 1 year. Yeah, I didn't expect Spezza to sign for long. Although I'm a little surprised with Toronto, but Toronto needs to get guys signed for real, like for cheap. So in that way, it doesn't surprise me. Lee at 6.5 to wear. Panarin around 11.6 million. Yeah, still too much if you ask me. Anthony, that's not bad for Panarin then. Still too much. I don't know. I don't know. 11.5. I mean, it's ridiculous. Although I guess they'd be counting on the cap going up with the new TV deal in a couple of years, and I imagine it's going to go up more significantly than it has in the past. Oh, that's what you want, Adrian. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sold on the fact that Gardner is Alsner, but do you follow the Leafs? Is that why you say that, or you don't have a good opinion of Gardner? Anthony, cap going up in 3 years, a lot, I think. Yeah, that's what they say. Might go up as much as 10 million or something like that. But depending on what kind of TV deal, I guess, and depending on what kind of deal they can work out to avoid a lockout and keep the CBA intact. Gardner is Alsner 2.0. Yeah, I really don't think that, but we'll see. I don't know if I'm surprised or hopeful or happy that they haven't announced the Habs signing any free agents. I don't know. But I'm a little surprised that it's already 23 minutes in and we haven't heard of Montreal signing yet. Who do you think the Habs will sign? Yeah, that's the $64,000 question. I tend to think it might be Gardner. Honestly, I hope they don't sign any free agents. I don't really want them to. I'd like them to keep the cap space, but I don't think they made cap room to sit still over here. So I guess Gardner's a possibility. Obviously, Lee. I think the guys that are in play that everyone's talking about are definitely possibilities. Beyond that, Bergevin's crafty guy. I think if they're going to sign somebody that's not those two guys, it's like anybody's guess. It's not going to be somebody you're going to think about. That's what I think. You're going to be going, geez, how does he think about to get that guy? That's a good, I think that's going to be how it is. And also go by the cheap because he can't spend all that money. Domi has to get a raise. This one got to get a raise. All the kids, they can't. So in a rambling way, I just said that's my opinion. And really, I think it might be surprising. I think we might be a little surprised at the signings. I think that's a good possibility that all the signings they make today, if they make any, might surprise us. So Islanders lose the chance on Panarin and lose Lehner. Is it official that they lost Lehner? And we'll probably lose Lee. They don't look good next year. Yeah, but you could have said that last year when they lost. I'm blanking on his name. Whatever his name is, the big guy that signed in Toronto. That's what happens when you get old. So they might have this. They had a great year right after doing that. They've got good management, good coach. It doesn't mean the end of the world. Who would have thought they would have made the playoffs last year after losing, what's his name? Let's see. I think the Habs traded Shaw and Delorier to make place for Suzuki, Caulfield, and Paling. Um, well, Delorier, no, there's no reason. Delorier could have been sent down. I mean, he was making small money, so I don't think so. They traded Delorier to get that draft pick. They're stockpiling picks for next year. That I'm sure of. Delorier was expendable easily, and they traded him to get that draft pick. As far as Shaw, I want to believe they traded Shaw because they knew this was the year to trade Shaw. He's at his highest value, and they did, and he could become a risky player. I think that's the main reason why, and getting the cap space is helpful. As far as just bringing in Suzuki, I don't know if he's automatically made the team. Caulfield, I doubt you'll see Caulfield in a Habs uniform this year. And Paling's made the team. That's my opinion. And I'm standing by that. Johnny, when Bergie pulls off a deal, we'll understand how it makes sense. Yeah, we'll first we'll shake our heads and go, what? And then we'll understand it. He doesn't usually he's made some bad deals in the past, but since his improvement and his upswing, he's made very smart moves. Sports King, I have a feeling we signed Nyquist. Yeah, you were talking about that on Saturday, I believe. Tavares, yeah, thank you, Hawk. I imagine Nyquist is an option because he won't cost a lot. And he's got a lot of experience, and he could be that stopgap guy for a year or two till Romanov gets here, or somebody else be in that spot. So yeah, Nyquist is probably an option, and maybe he's that guy that not everyone's talking about. That's the one that's going to happen, and you go, oh, I wouldn't think that's it. So yeah, definitely. Breaking news: Habs signed Guy Lafleur to a 2-year, $2 million deal. And breaking news: it is now 1971. We've gone back in time. Yeah. I only wish Guy Lafleur was still able or young enough to join the Habs. Dream come true to see a second coming of Guy Lafleur. Alsner to Ottawa for a 7th. Alsner to Ottawa for literally a bag of pucks, and I'd be happy. I know I like to say the bag of pucks, but if they took Alsner and they gave us just a bag of pucks or a bunch of sticks or keys to the bus, I don't care. I take it. Lafleur is probably still better than Drouin. I wish that were true, but no, I don't think he could keep up. Drouin could definitely skate faster, but I bet you Guy has more heart. You know, Guy in the last couple of seasons became quite a good defensive player. I don't know if a lot of people realize that, but he was oftentimes the first guy back to back check, the first guy back to cause a turnover on the back check. So yeah, Guy Lafleur was a damn good player. 3rd greatest Montreal Canadiens player ever, my opinion. We'll have to see what happens in training camp as to what prospects make the team. No, granted, I said I think if Suzuki plays lights out but then he makes the team, I agree. But I have a feeling if they want to make him a center in the NHL, I think they take that year or a good chunk of that year in Laval. And then maybe by the end of the season at the playoff run time, after the trading deadline, he comes up and he stays up forever. That's in my opinion. I lost myself. Where are we? Scotty said, aha. I don't know what that means, Scotty. You need more than that. No, I'm just joking. Massimo. Hey, Massimo. What do you think the Habs are going to do? Yeah, that's the question I get asked the most today. And it's the hardest one to answer. But I think they sign or trade for a left-handed D. And I think they bring in a winger, not a center. And I actually hope they do not bring in the winger and save the cap space, but I don't know. Trent, official 11.64 for Breadman. That is insanity. Insanity. I'm sorry, but it's insanity. Adam Iney. Hey, Adam. I see us offering Aho between 9 to 10.5. Well, yeah, as long as it's under the 10.5, so they don't give the 4 first rounders for it. But yeah, um, I'm gonna take. I swear, just a minute. I gotta feed my cat. I'll be back in a minute. So Countess has a minute break. I'll be right back. So I hope it's okay, but I'll be right back. I have to do this. She will meow the whole time. Here you go, sweetie. She's the 19-year-old. She needs to eat more often. Dry food. She can't eat the not dry food, wet food. She can't eat the dry food as often or as much. So I feed her like 4 times a day like that, and she screams at me until I do. So sorry about that. But there was no choice. Okay, we were at the 9 to 10.5 for Aho. Yeah, I think they're going to have to offer something like that to get him, but I don't want to see that. Penn's effed up and signed Tanev. Yikes. Well, there's a rumor they're going to trade with Tang. So I don't know if that means much of anything, but maybe that's why. Joel TD, is that it? Hey, I haven't seen you around. Hey, how's it going? Could you see a Sebastian Aho offer sheet? Excuse me, adding another Finnish player to the team. I definitely can see them being interested to do that, but I don't know because you got to offer him a lot, and then you're giving up at least 2 first rounders and 2 seconds, or you're giving up 4 first rounders in the next 4 years. I don't like it, but I could see it happening. But no, I could see that they want to get a guy like Aho. He fits in well with the Finnish players. He's a really good player. I mean, there's no doubt about his skill. So yeah, but I don't think they do it. Johnny, Corey Perry, and Wayne Simmons are both right-handed wingers. Yeah, I can see Wayne Simmons more. I don't want to see Corey Perry. There's something tells me no with Corey Perry. They're what 34. He's too old now. He's got back issues or something. That's why he was bought out. Oh, he's probably bought out for the cap reasons. But no, I don't like the Corey Perry option. I really don't. We've done this too many times, bringing these old guys that are promising, oh, they're old, they're really good, and they do nothing here. I don't like it. Wayne Simmons, I still think can be useful, but depending again on what you get him for and for the term. Because a guy like Wayne Simmons, you're looking at 2 years, maybe 3. 2 years plus a team option for a third, something like that. Trade for Aho, please. Yeah. Trade, okay, trade I see differently because a trade you're not giving up your cap space. So, I mean, you sort of are, but you know what I mean? Although, no, because if you trade for him, then you can re-sign him and you're not paying $9.5 million. I don't think. Perry is gone. Good. Who took Perry? I'm glad he's off the table. Trent's happy with Kincaid. So am I. Terrell, Perry is with Dallas. Yeah, they were saying, was it Perry and who else went to Dallas? Somebody else is in Dallas. Yeah, good. That's a good place for him, Dallas. Kevin Christopher Knight. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for coming in. What about Markov? Said he wants to come back. Okay. I dealt with this in an earlier video. Depending, again, on what they pay. If they can sign Markov for, I want to say under $1 million, but $1 million for a very short term, no more than 2, and I would like it 1 and a team option for a second. Okay, because Markov could maybe play enough to make it worth it, and he could definitely help the power play. But otherwise, no. He's 3 or 4 years older. He's that much slower. You know the saying, you can never go home again? It's kind of like that. It's not where I want to go. Let's see, where was the Markov thing now? I'm lost again. I get lost easily. I need a GPS for this. Carpenter to Chicago. Carpenter. You know, I can only think of Bobby Carpenter. He's a bit of an older player. I don't know who Carpenter is. To Chicago. Zuccarello. Zuccarello. Zuccarello went somewhere. Zuccarello is going to Minnesota. That's the rumor. Player coach. Oh, do they do that anymore? Player coach? I don't know. Maybe I mean if you can get that worked out, I guess. So he's not playing regularly and coaching. Yeah, I could see that, but I don't know. Do they do that anymore? I don't remember the last time I saw a player coach. So, but I mean, yeah, it's not a bad idea. Lee Max. Hey Lee, I don't think I said hi yet. Every team in the East is good right now. The Habs need to get better. I'm not saying they don't, but I mean it depends. Look, if you want to see a Stanley Cup here next year, they got to get a lot better and they got to sign a lot of players. But we're not gonna. It's unlikely we're gonna get a Stanley Cup next year. I would love it, and I hope they try. And yeah, but it's unlikely. So you know, we're getting better in increments, and that's fine as long as every season you're working at and you get there. But I don't expect them to jump from missing the playoffs last year to being in the Stanley Cup final. Not to say it can't happen, I know that, but would actually want Markov to sign as a coach. Yeah. Although Luke Richardson is I think, doing a good job as coach. Toronto is getting worse, in my opinion. Well, signing those big. Why would they bring Tavares in at that kind of money when you know you got Marner, all these guys to sign? It was dumb. If you ask me, it was dumb. So yeah, that's the result of that. Lee Max, you're an idiot. Who's Lee Max? Why? No, you shouldn't call people idiots. First of all, uh, but he's right. The Habs do need to get better. I don't know if I don't know offhand if every team in the East has gotten better, but there are a few that have. I don't know who Carpenter is either, dude. Now, I don't know. I can't remember another player named Carpenter. I should go back to it. Is that Connolly, maybe you're thinking is Carpenter? Because Connolly signed somewhere. Max, no, not a Stanley Cup, but in the playoffs at least. Well, I don't think they need to do all that much to get into the playoffs. So I don't want to take any drastic steps. That's all. But yeah, I want to see them in the playoffs next year. And I think they will be. 1 year as a player, then a coach. I mean, that could work. I don't know. And imagine it could be still an option if they don't manage to fill that hole that they have. But I kind of think they will. So I don't think Markov's coming here. Angus, you think player to GM is fire? Who? I don't get that. I'm sorry. I'm not getting that. David. Hey, David. Hey, Rick. Matt Duchene signs with Nashville. Yeah, you're in a little. I'm an hour and something into it. Yeah, that was pretty quickly. We figured that one out. Come on, Rick. Come on up. Well, yeah. You got to jump from that side and bang your head. Come on. Yeah, there we go. I got a few animals and they love to be on camera, it would seem. That's my dog, Ray. If you haven't already met her. Yeah, I was just saying, yeah, sorry. The Duchesne to Predators, that was kind of announced last night. But yeah, we all knew that one. What do you think of that? You disappointed he didn't come to Montreal? Sports King. Apparently we offered Aho $9 million, but Carolina will probably match. Yeah. But I mean that's the thing, most offer sheets are gonna get matched unless you offer a ridiculous amount. Johnny, glad we passed on Duchesne. Let's go after top lefty trade if we can't get it. Yeah, no, I agree. I'm glad we passed on Duchesne for whatever the reason. I don't care. I don't even need to know why they did it, or if it was Duchesne passing. I don't need to know. I'm glad it didn't happen. I mean, when players turn into GM is good. Yeah, yeah, not just any player. You need smart players like Eiserman, Sarah Savard. When we were here, he was decent. Yeah, I think so. Oh, you're not comfortable like that. I know. Okay, come on, guys. I need some more stuff here. Technically, Duchesne passed on us. Yeah, I imagine that's what happened. He passed on us. Sports King, how do? I do well. How do you? I'm sure you put a few things in there. I read earlier that we are one of 3 teams still on Gardner. Yeah, I saw that too. That's why I say Gardner is definitely a possibility. And if you kind of crunch the numbers, Gardner's about 6 million. Um, if you can get Lee for 6-7 million, that's the 13 million cap space that they've got. But I would certainly hope they don't spend today right up to their cap. I really hope they don't do that. Where do I live? I live in Montreal, home of the Montreal Canadiens, right behind me. See the name there? Yeah, I'm in Montreal. Sports King, how do you see Galchenyuk doing in Pittsburgh? It's a good question. I think his potential to be a possible 60-point player is probably better is definitely better in Pittsburgh than it would have been in Arizona, where they don't score a lot. I think Pittsburgh's kind of looking at it like he'll have a good season and he'll show something good, or if not, he's only got 1 year left on the contract. They can let him go to free agency. So it's kind of not a big risk. And then that says to the fact that how badly did they want to get rid of Kessel? They must have really wanted to get rid of Kessel, that they're taking this kind of risk on Galchenyuk. Unless for some reason they really see something in him that nobody else has seen or everybody else has seen, but turned out to be not really there. I don't know. But he has the potential to have a pretty good year, and maybe Sidney Crosby kicks his ass in gear and gets him in the right headspace. But it's the same thing, same problem we're having with Drouin. Does he fix it? I don't know. But I think good potential there in Pittsburgh. Which neighborhood of Montreal? You coming for a visit? No, I'm in Dorval. I am in Dorval. Angus Beef. Joe Sakic in Colorado, Mario in Pittsburgh, just to name a few. Brodeur seems to like doing good in New Jersey. Mario is the owner? He's not the GM. I don't think Mario was ever a GM in Pittsburgh, but he's the owner. Sakic, yeah, definitely. Sakic, Yzerman, some good GMs that there's a lot of times they say a star player doesn't make a good coach, but they can make really good GMs, but not coaches. In general, star players don't make good coaches, but GMs, yeah. I don't know why that is. It's kind of weird, but if you check, I don't know how you check on that, but I just know this for a fact. Would you take Gardner? 6 years, 6.5. No. I think 6.5 is too much. So you're asking me now. If you're asking, do I think Montreal would do it? I think possibly they would. I wouldn't do it. Angus, Galchenyuk probably do good in Pittsburgh. Sydney probably makes everybody better. Yeah, definitely. I mean, they got some, and I guess depending where they're looking to play him, I don't know if they're planning on playing him at center. He's still listed as a center in the trade, and I don't get it. When I know Arizona tried him at center last year, but that quickly went out the window. He's a winger. Hey Jim, who's better, Paling or Suzuki? Right now, Paling. Down the road, I'm going to say Suzuki's going to be more magical, more gifted with the puck. And Paling is going to be a better two-way center, a guy who can score goals, produce offense, and shut down the other team's best line. So who's better? They're different styles. They're both going to be great. I think they're both going to be great players. So I don't want to say who's better or who's not, but I think they're both good at what they do, and they're going to show us for many years. Okay, you guys, you're slowing down on me. Let me take a look at the board. Are they showing anything? You guys are kind of my eyes and ears because I got to look behind me to catch the TV. So you're kind of my eyes and ears. Every time I look over, there's no information from me. There's just Craig Button or somebody talking. Angus, I like Peyton Krebs. Yeah, I like Krebs too. If at 15, when Montreal was presented with their pick of, you had Caulfield, you had Krebs, and you had Newhook. So I think my order of preference at the time was Newhook, Caulfield, Krebs. So I still like Newhook. I'm not unhappy with Caulfield, but Newhook still looks really good. Who will be the better player of those three? We will only know down the road. Hagen. So Paling equals KK. No, I tend to think KK is somewhere in between Paling and Suzuki as far as style and talent wise, and that's why I think I've said it. I don't. A couple of videos ago, I said, and it might have been a live stream. My idea for the three centers down the road will be Suzuki as your number one center, KK as your number two center, and Paling as your number three center shutdown guy. Number four center can be a lot of options, and you can bring in a guy. But I see that as the 1, 2, 3: Suzuki, KK, and Paling. And at that point, 3 years down the road, Deneau will be very tradable, and you might have to trade Deneau because I don't see him as a fourth-line center. Although if he's willing, you might have Deneau as your fourth-line center. And that's my thoughts on that. Come on, guys, I need some more questions. I'm already getting tired, so I don't know if I can carry a conversation. I could sing and dance. You guys, maybe I'll try singing and dancing. Although I wouldn't want to drive you away. There's 25 of you in here right now. I'm sure if I started singing and dancing, there would be 0 in here really quickly. Although you might be screen capturing, so you can put it out on YouTube later and go, look at this idiot doing that. I want to know what else the Habs are doing. Yeah, me too. I still want to know what they're doing. And you say else, did they do anything? Did I miss something? Did they do anything today? I don't think they did. There's talk on Twitter about Bergie working on an offer. He's going to be talking to their agents right now. I guess. I don't know. I don't like the offer sheeting part. I really don't. Lehkonen and Army, I believe they will. I believe they're going to be big parts of the team. And to say it again, I believe, but I think both of those two guys are on the verge of breakout season, and they may have them in the same year. And you might see that they put those three guys together, so they put them with KK, and you get all three of them having a breakout year on what I term the finish line. So, yeah. So we're going to do another 12 minutes. I'm going to stop at 1, like I said, for an hour. I'm going to take a lunch break and a dog walking break. And then I'll be back on at 2, but I'll put up another announcing it right away. Anders Lee to Montreal. Oh, my God. Okay, Blade Knight, you wrote that all in caps. Did it just get announced? $8.5 million, Lee signed. Or you're trolling us. Someone said trolls. Okay, so that's not true. Yeah, okay. Love your comment. Have a good day, Blue Knight. Post all you want. I'm not acknowledging you ever again. Bye-bye. Bye, Felicia. Great stream, Rick. Thanks, Scott. Yeah, that was it. Pavelski signed there. Great stream. Keep saying it after every time this asshole posts something. Idiot. Levi. Hey, Levi. Source from RDS that the Habs are talking to Aho. Can they talk to him directly like that? Hey, Angus, you're a young fart. Welcome to the Old Fart Show. I guess there was a RFA period where they let them talk to each other, wasn't there? Did Montreal get lead? No, that was just somebody trolling us. Levi for an offer sheet. Oh, okay. But are they still allowed to be talking to them, or didn't they have that period? Now they got to give the offer sheet. So I guess they might have worked out something with them. Do I think they will sign Lee? I don't know. I really don't know. I can't say. I just can't say. But Dad, don't listen to the person who's going around saying they're signing Lee. Don't listen to that. He's just trying to get our goats. Yeah, Blade Knight's not. Don't listen to him. Levi, you don't think Lee will sign here? I don't know. I'm not sold on all that. I'm not sold on if he will or not. No. But look, we should. I would hope. Look, it's 51 minutes into the opening of it. I kind of want to. Excuse me. I've heard something by now. I kind of thought we would have heard something by now. Anyway. You saw. You saw. Trent is saying I saw that Montreal was interested in him, but it wasn't mutual. Big possibility. That's a big possibility. And like I said, everything we're talking about, it's probably going to go a different direction, and it's going to be somebody totally else. So it wouldn't surprise me. It definitely wouldn't surprise me. Yeah. Well, remember at the beginning, I said Bergevin's been quoted as saying he doesn't think he's going to go the UFA route. He'd rather trade to get who he wants. Maybe this is what's happening. He's not going to go the UFA route. So there's a very big chance we're going to be a little disappointed in today that he doesn't sign anybody. Or any big names, anyway. Okay, Raven, I'm doing something, and I'm going to need my hands. You're going to have to go down. We're going to go out soon, okay? Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to look here on Twitter to see if I can see anything. Yeah, I was kind of hoping something would happen on the Habs. Something at least we could sit there and break down. Well, this was, it's still all speculation. Let's see now. Yeah, so the Kincaid definitely that's definitely done. Yeah, not there. Donskoy, four-year deal to the Avs. Yeah, the Panarin is definitely happening. Yeah, the Canadians are only. Oh, I know where this guy got it from. If somebody's putting it out on Twitter that the Canadians have signed a contract with Lee, but it's all bull. Yeah, I'm happy they signed Kincaid too, and because McElhaney went somewhere else. I'm blanking where they went. Islanders are now circling back to signing Lee after losing out on Panarin and Gordon Friedman. Well, that makes a lot of sense. If they're not going to get Panarin, imagine losing your captain 2 years in a row. I don't know. So that makes a lot of sense that they go circle back on Lee, and it may be why Lee wasn't interested in Montreal. He might have known this already. His agent might have known this. So let's be patient. They're going to come back at you. Kind of makes sense. Yeah, I'm trying to find out something here. It's a lot of speculation or just announcing the ones that we already know. Huh. Someone put up happy 10th anniversary, Habs fans. I think it was 10 years ago that we got Scott Gomez. Ugh, God, that was a disaster of a trade. Although I'll tell you the truth, I was driving in my car, I think, when I heard the news, and I was like, "Oh yeah, Scotty Gomez, he's good. Oh my God, what a nightmare that was." I'm sure he was a really nice guy, but he did nothing here. Apparently, 3 different teams are interested in Aho. Well, I still can't believe that 11.6 million for Panarin. I don't know. And look, Jordy Ben got 2 years at 2 million. Yeah. Well, that's it. Nothing much happening, boys. Okay, listen, we're only 4 minutes before 1. I gotta take my dog out. I'm gonna have my lunch. I hope you guys aren't gonna be pissed at me, but I'm gonna take an hour off right now. We're at an hour and a half on the stream anyway. I'm going to be back on at 2, maybe 10 after 2 at the latest, but I'm gonna post it up here. You'll see the starting time, and I'll see you back then. Sorry, but I gotta take my dog out and I gotta eat something. Okay, so see you back here in just over an hour. Okay, guys, thanks for showing up. Thanks for all the input and the back and forth. It's been great so far. But we got another couple of hours yet to go. So when I come back, I'm planning to do 2 more. Okay? Okay, see you guys. Be back in an hour.